SPD emergency!
Power Rangers fans, get ready for the biggest event of the fall. It's Ranger Stop Superhero Toy and Comic-Con 3. Hang out with some of your fellow Ranger fans for a weekend of fun and excitement. Check out awesome panels, including a live Ranger recap. Get a chance to purchase new and rare collectibles in the dealer's room. Sign up for the exclusive VIP dinner. And of course, meet your favorite Power Rangers actors. This year's lineup includes Austin St. John, David Yost, Walter Emmanuel Jones, David Fielder, Johnny Young Bosch, Karen Ashley, Steve Cardenas, Catherine Sutherland, Nikia Baris, Blake Foster, Hillary Shepard, Christopher Kamen Lee, Melody Perkins, Danny Slavin, Brett Fisher, Jason Fong, Michael Capone, Dan Southworth, Sierra Hanna, Ruben Langdon, Zeron Zephyr, and the SPD 10-year reunion. Brandon J. McLaren, Chris Vallette, Matt Austin, Monica May, and Alicia Perrott, with more potential guests to come, along with a mystery guest you won't know about until the convention weekend. So come down to the Holiday Inn Suites across from Universal Studios, 5905 South Kirkman Road, Orlando, Florida, November 13th to the 15th, 2015, for Ranger Stop 3. It's gonna be a more phenomenal weekend.
There's nothing wrong with your browser. Do not attempt to adjust your video settings. We control the horizontal and the vertical. For the next month, you shall be subjected to 4 films consisting of Daikaiju, J-Heroes, and special effects. You are about to experience the horror and thrills of Tokuween.
This is Nikia Baris, who played Tanya in Power Rangers Zeo and Turbo, and you're listening to Ranger Recap.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Ranger Recap, the only Power Rangers podcast to say that yes, you can be a Royal Ranger, but you can also be a Royal Pain.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey folks, I'm Easy Rider. Sorry if I sound a little stopped up. Got a little sniffle, got a little congestion, got a cold over the weekend. That just means I'm getting con flu early, so I don't catch it at Ranger Stop, am I right?
Yeah, right. Get it out of the way early.
Yep. Don't want to repeat a Shadow Con, right, Shades?
Oh, don't even.
Ooh.
That's a whole other con problem right there.
Ooh.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm Easy Rider. That's the Shades. That's Matty Jay. And whoo boy, do we got a lot of news to go over.
Oh, yes, do we ever.
Oh.
And don't mind that.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
None. Can I just start off before we go into the news and everything else? Cash for Games, one of my favorite video game stores. If you folks have no idea how much I'm going through to save up money. They have repro. They also happen to sell repro games, for SNES and all that stuff. One of them happens to be a Power Ranger game.
Ooh, which one?
I don't know. Like they're selling it for $40. I want to go to see what game it is, but I'm tempted. Just looking at it, going, "Oh, I'm tempted."
I don't blame you, Maddie. I don't blame you. Also, by the way, before we begin, for those of you watching the video feed here on YouTube, shout out to A Justice and Fighter Cows who designed the new avatars for myself and Easy Rider, respectively, that you'll be seeing from here on out, at least for right now. Good work, guys. Awesome jobs. But let's get on to the news. Because, like Easy said, we got a lot to talk about, including not one, but 2 new Rangers for the MMPR movie.
It's 2 Rangers for the price of 1.
Yeah. Here I thought they were going to divvy out these announcements like on a weekly basis, and then in 1 week we get 2 of them. We got Ludi Lin as our Black Ranger and RJ Seiler as our Black Ranger. Or no, scratch that. Reverse it. Ludi Lin is our Black Ranger, Seiler as our Blue Ranger.
I think you can easily make that mistake, Shades, because of the how do I put this? Race swap.
Yeah, obviously they're not going to accidentally do a race mix-up like they did in the old days, and they're going to make sure, you know, hell, they pretty much got an Adam Park instead of a Zach Taylor at this point, though I'm going to be getting to that in a moment.
Oh yeah.
Also, Matty, you might want to prep the Popo button, because I mentioned having a Blue Ranger, a black guy Blue Ranger like our buddy Noah.
You did, and I think I told Matty to prep that button because I knew that was the first thing on all of our minds. Like, yeah, somebody here. Let me answer my cell phone because Easy Rider just.
Called it.
Let me hit it again.
Can I call him or can I call him?
Let me hit it again for Easy, my buddy Easy. There, Easy sick. I'm gonna hit it again for him.
Called it.
But yeah. Also, both of these guys are also relatively unknowns. There's hardly any acting credits to their name, which seems to be what Saban is going for. They want a cast of unknowns to take these roles. Nobody here is like a big actor.
So that's 4 down. We only got 1 left. So here's the puzzler, folks. What is Yellow gonna be? Are we gonna have an Aisha?
That would be unprecedented to have 2 black people in a show, in a Power Rangers.
I'm all for it.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Yeah, I agree. I think I'd love it. It's just unprecedented.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they're not going to go the cookie cutter thing that Nickelodeon did in Samurai and Megaforce, we don't need a repeat of that.
No.
Ooh.
No stereotypical blondes, please. Emily, Gia, we love you, but you're a little too similar.
Oh God, there was even with freaking all of them, ugh.
I'm just looking forward to the announcement so we could talk about it, really.
Yeah, like once we get an idea what the real team's gonna be, and then there's the other question: is there only 1 left, or is there a 6th? Is there still another one after that?
That's a good point.
I mean, we don't know how far back this reboot thing is gonna go. Now,
No. There will be a 6th one, but they'll be using that for sequel bait.
that might be true. They might be setting that up if that's where they're going with this. If they think this is gonna go that far, they got to be careful about sequel bait like that, because that could piss people off if the movie doesn't do very well, and that's all we're left with is that tease of something that'll never happen. So you got to really be careful how you tease that.
Yeah.
Well, it'll just be another one up there with the Super Mario Brothers, Masters of the Universe, Bronco Banzai. Am I right? Buckaroo Banzai? I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm sick.
And other movies that happen to be hold on, I had a bun for this. And other movies that share the same quality that other than hopefully this particular movie, all have one thing in common.
They fucked that up too.
Okay, wrong button, but you get the point.
Oh, come on. Some of them weren't that bad, but the fact remains.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I do want to bring up is that there's been a big debate on whether or not this is actually going to be the actual Mighty Morphin team or a reboot of the Mighty Morphin team. Like, is Ludi Lin playing Zach Taylor, or is he just playing the Black Ranger? Well, apparently somebody got the answer we were looking for. Check this out. This was a Facebook conversation somebody had with Ludi Lin on Facebook, like I said, asking about it, congratulating him on the role, and flat out asking, hey, will you be playing Zach or a new character? His response...
Certainly not going to be Adam Park.
Yeah, his response says, quote, thanks, so-and-so, I'll be playing Zach T. That is about as straight from the horse's mouth as you can get. The man himself is confirming he is playing Zack.
Also, I think we got another small hint. I don't know if you brought this up or not, guys, but David Yost did pat the new guy on the back. Matty, I believe you mentioned this a while back.
Well, I do know Amy Jo put her stamp of approval on Naomi Scott. I have not seen Billy's. I have not seen David Yost's response to that.
I could have sworn you, of all people, did. I know David tweeted about it, but again, I've been out of it for the weekend, folks. My mind may be a little fried.
Yeah.
To be fair, I've been working as well, so it's but I could double check it real quick, and also while I'm checking, if that is true, hey, there's 2 out of the 4 right there saying, hey, that's good.
There it is right there.
Yep, look at that. So we got confirmation. But that's only them approving of the characters. That doesn't confirm whether or not these are going to be actually Billy and everything. But this evidence I have is a little more substantial because, and I even double checked. I'm like, I had to make sure. I checked the avatar that's used here is the same one that Ludi Lin uses for his Facebook page. So this to me, combined with those approvals, does lend credence to it. This more than anything, I think, substantiates the idea that, yeah, this will be Jason, Billy, Trini, Zach, and Kimberly.
And I can confirm I saw the tweet. There it is.
So
you're representing us nerds, boy.
Yeah, if this is true, I think these guys better know what they're getting themselves into. Because yeah, there's a fan base of us that are ready, are watching with bated breath and with weapons ready.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if the whole cast made an appearance at Morphicon.
Oh, that's going to happen eventually. Once the cast is announced, they're showing up to Morphicon. That's almost a given. Saban's going to be bringing them there to promote the movie.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the thing that happens. But speaking of conventions, a lot of you guys might have noticed a name missing from the Ranger Stop commercial earlier today.
And the audio plug if you're listening to the audio version, of course.
Yeah, Sean C.W. Johnson, a.k.a. Lightspeed Red, has unfortunately had to cancel his appearance at Ranger Stop this year. He posted a video on his Facebook page apologizing and informing us of the cancellation and apologizing to everyone who was going to be there, but he did not give an exact reason as to why he had to cancel. That's the weird.
No, if you ask me, if it's last minute, it must have been big enough to warrant the cancellation.
Yeah, he wouldn't have canceled on something like this unless it was important, especially this close to showtime. It must have been something pretty important, but at least he had the decency to, let everyone know, and he apologized for it. You could tell he felt bad about missing out. He had to miss out. But yeah, we're gonna be one Ranger short this year, and Matty, I think that was one of the ones you were gonna interview this year.
I think that was on our list too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was on our. I double checked. It's on our list, and it was one of yours. If we got it.
Yeah.
So
I met him at Morphicon, got that promo from him, so no big loss for yours truly, but I do feel bad for all the Lightspeed fans who are going to miss out. There's always next year. You never know.
And thankfully, Lightspeed's not completely out of the picture either. Rhett Fisher's still going to be still scheduled to appear, so we'll still have our 6 Ranger for that. But, and, I'd be more upset, but, I've been to North Constantine. This happens all the time. People just, when you schedule shit, life gets in the way sometimes. Cancellations happen all the goddamn time. I lost on an interview with Steve Bloom that way.
Yeah, that's true. Also, I must say, if life interferes with my getting to Ranger Stop, I'm getting life inside of Hell in a Cell, and it ain't leaving with a walk. It's leaving with a limp. At best.
Well, now you know how I feel when I went to Morphicon last year, and both the guys I wanted to interview canceled. That would be Jason Smith and Matt Austin. Thankfully, I'm getting a second chance this year with one of them.
Yeah. But that is the unfortunate thing. So, I mean, it happens. Again, I've lost interviews that way, but thankfully, we've still got a very star-studded Ranger Stop, including that mystery guest, which I'm going to say right now, I've gotten. We're gonna read these in the emails and comments later. We've gotten guesses as to who the mystery guest is.
Y'all fucked up.
Nobody's getting it, and I'm not saying who it is.
Not even close.
Oh.
And yeah, it's like what's his name on Robot Chicken. And that was the best day of my whole life. What about when I was born? Not even close.
Y'all have no fucking clue. None.
Now,
Oh.
if you're not going to Ranger Stop, which shame on you if you're not, but if you can, I understand, you know, if you have reasons. But if you at least have the money for something, I hope you're getting your Die Ranger DVDs.
Yeah.
Because that's, you know, that I believe those are out by now. I know some people saying they've ordered theirs. But,
I can confirm this. My patrons of all people asked me if I've gotten my set. They've gotten theirs early. I said no, but I'm saving up for Ranger Stop, and once I get home, that's going to be top of my to-do list.
same here.
Dude, I have a credit card. First thing when I'm home, Shout Factor's getting my money.
Yeah. I think, especially after a recent interview that Ranger Crew conducted with Brian Ward, one of the main guys over at Shout Factory, in regards to the Die Ranger set. And one particular question, well, most of it's your standard stuff, what can you expect and things like that, how, you know. One question that I think a lot of people are going to be interested in is the last question on this one. Are there plans for more Sentai DVD releases? His response, and I quote,
Fuck Michael Cole.
not that, anyway. There are plans only so far as to say if Die Ranger sells well, we'll move forward with Kaku Ranger. And I sincerely
And
hope
yes, I will re-edit my Kaku Ranger review accordingly.
Yeah. But only Evan says... Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, he goes on to say, and I sincerely hope that's true, but only the fans can make that happen by proving there's a market big enough for us to invest in another season. In other words, please buy these so we can get more.
Folks, you've seen the review. If you see Easy's review, you know I'm a big Kaku Ranger mark. Don't fuck this up for me.
And besides, you guys have seen Die Ranger, most of you have. We watch it on Toku-Riffs. You know it's a good season. Support the official release. All right? Just because we showed it on Toku-Riffs doesn't mean you guys shouldn't have to buy it. Buy the DVDs, put it in your collections. I mean, come on, you never know when you don't want to watch it again.
Yeah, and for the 100th time, yes, go to my Patreon. Give me a couple bucks. Help me get that Die Ranger DVD box set in my hands, and I will review the shit out of it. No questions asked.
He's not kidding either.
I'd still like to do an unboxing video once I'm better and back from Ranger Stop.
Yeah. But we got to... Go ahead.
Oh, keep going.
I was going to say, I had nothing, actually. I was just kind of... Anyway.
You were moving on.
Somewhat. Go ahead, Matty.
Yes. Did you, by chance, get the picture I sent you guys earlier from the Facebooks?
I did. I didn't post... I'm not posting it, but I know which one you're talking about.
Is there a chance people could see it, or can we put a link in there? Oh, I can't. We can't.
Actually, I can't. I can't show you. Hold on. Give me a second.
Because I found this earlier, courtesy of Misha Mayhem out of my Facebook group, and yes, I do have a Facebook group. And I'll defer to the original caption of the post. This is from Total Nerd on Facebook.
Eric, hold on. Let me do this.
All right. Tell me when you're ready.
Second here. Wasn't prepared to do this on a sudden.
I know, but we need a laugh. We need a good laugh here. We need to be warmed up.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But yeah, you folks need to see this if you haven't seen this yet. And some of you already know what it is. So, in the chat. But for those who haven't,
And there we go. Go ahead, Matty.
well, to quote Total Nerd on Facebook, I give you Hermione Power Granger.
If it would show up, where is it? Okay, it's supposed to show up, but it's not. I don't know why. Like, it's set. All right, you know what? We'll do this way.
Screen cap.
Oh no, I was trying to screen cap. It wasn't working.
Oh no.
So apparently it wants me to do it the hard way.
Nuts.
RVT Entertainment, never without a botch.
I shouldn't have brought it up in the first place. By the way, hi, Johnimus. Looking forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. But there you go, folks. The Hermione, Power Hermione Granger.
Hermione Power Granger, yes.
Ha. That's all I
Yeah.
gotta say about that.
Yeah. Let's just put it this way. Lady K saw this earlier, and the first words out of her mouth, being a Harry Potter fan, was, "Oh hell no!"
If I was well enough, I'd do the Lana Noop thing.
Nope. Stop saying nope. Nope.
Also, it's gonna sound like I'm laughing at this costume, but I'm laughing at this costume.
Yeah.
And I get it. She's a Harry Potter head and a Ranger mark crossover. Got it.
The whole definition. It's a whole new definition of the term crossplay.
Yeah. It's one of those things, and now for something completely different.
Yes. All right. Are we ready to move on?
Yes.
Let's get to the episode, folks. Episode 16, Rise of a Ranger. The episode that should have played last week.
Buys you Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
It's okay, guys. It's okay. Packazord is just that awesome. It time traveled itself to help the Rangers. It defies the laws of physics. Also, anyone makes a wrecking ball joke tonight, I might be sick, but my aim is not. I'm just gonna put this right here.
Yeah.
Just gonna put this right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's put it this way. Miley Cyrus jokes, you get Daved on sight.
I have Fang on standby. I will be more than happy to Frank Strizer your ass if you guys even think about it.
I would get my new door gun, but I don't want to get germs on it.
I don't blame you there.
True.
Oh yeah, and I also know the fan base is. I've already seen some of the emails for tonight. Oh, Nickelodeon is getting a lot more hate tonight, folks. Be prepared.
Whew.
Trust me.
I thought I was pissed at Nickelodeon.
Yeah, right? All right, you guys ready on your end?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, hopefully you guys have your episodes loaded up from whatever legal resource you use for your episodes. But let's get this party started. Power Rangers Dino Charge, Episode 16, Rise of a Ranger. In 3, 2, 1, play.
Yeah, forgive me if I don't make too many jokes or riffs tonight, folks. Still sick, so I'll chime in where and when I can.
We'll cover for you.
Yeah.
We got this. We got this by the ass. By the way, note at the very bottom, if you're watching from the Nickelodeon from your PVR, the Nick thing at the bottom. Twisted knife, why don't you?
Yeah.
Twist it. Fuck you. Wait,
No, the quarry's under attack and... Oh, never mind.
Wait, you sure we're not watching the movie again?
Or an SBD Dino Thunder team up? Nope.
Nope.
Hey!
Oh, look who it is! It's everyone's favorite spoiled little rich brat.
It's William Regal.
I know, yeah. Too early?
Nah.
I was told to get it ready.
Nah.
Also, dude looks
I would have
good in
waited for the
t-shirt.
debut, Matty, but that's me.
Nah, either way.
No.
Eh.
Now that's when you whip out the other one, Matty. The man's man.
Ah.
Oh, wait a minute. What? Oh, looky what we have here.
Hello.
Hey. Hello, little birdie.
You're going right on eBay.
Huh.
Wow, that sigil is so photo. That's not even.
That doesn't work like that, Philip.
Can't believe I'm quoting Tommy Oliver here, but you can't choose them; they choose you.
It's true.
But that brings the good question. Why is it bonding with him? Or is it normally when you first grab it, does it bond with you?
You have chosen.
Maybe it's choosy. Choosy
Yeah.
gems choose Jiff.
It's, it's a picky ranger picker. It's a picky eater, but whatever. It's picky. Also, if you're eating out of that, you're definitely not a picky eater.
Uh-oh.
Oh. You know, I hate to quote Bond from GoldenEye, you know, about Xenia on the top, but she always did like a tight squeeze.
Get
Wow.
off my wife, you dirty bastard!
Also,
Well, I've heard of a woman at petting her pussy, but this is ridiculous.
oh! Also, GoldenEye. Shocking.
And
How's it
wow,
doing?
a boss who actually recognizes what the general did and commends him for it. Well, Fury's not that bad a guy after all. Normally, how that scene would play out is he would have thought that Fury was trying to kill Poisander and punish him for it.
It won't last.
No,
No.
no, it won't. But hey, enjoy it while you can.
Yeah. I give it 20 minutes.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I keep watching the T-Rex, screaming at Keeper. Dude, you need a Tic Tac? Someone get me a space scope. Listerine.
Something.
Altoids. They happen to be curiously strong.
Boy, Up with People sure has changed.
Yeah, all right.
I know, right? You can tell Conan was into it.
Yeah. And of course they're from New Zealand because that's where they're filming at. Shh, they don't know that.
They think it's American. Shh.
Still not
Totally
as good as
awful.
the NZ boys, am I right?
Yeah.
No, yeah,
Wait.
yeah.
Sister?
Sister.
Chase has a sister?
What?
Remind me again, when's the last time we had a ranger who had a sibling? A younger sibling like
That's
Matty and Vita? Mystic Force?
this? No, even
That's so
that.
far back as I can think. No. Jaden and Lauren.
Well, I'm talking like a younger kid sibling instead of just like an equal age sibling.
Give me a break. I'm sick.
I'm thinking hashtag a very long fucking time.
Try Billy from Mighty Morphin.
Ooh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Also, American footage. Stock footage.
Whoa. American footage.
America. America. Stock. America.
Tell American.
Still American, yeah.
yeah, go to hell, physics. Thank God for the jump cut.
All right.
Yeah. It's
This thing makes Chief's mock outfit from Drive look better by comparison.
Yeah.
Isaiah is irrelevant. I'm not even gonna finish it. It ain't worth it.
Matty, this just makes me wonder one question and one question only. Where's
Yes.
Robo Knight?
I know. Where's Robo Knight? I'm not gonna hit that button either. But that is quite the conundrum.
Yeah. That thing's a lot, and that thing's a worse fighter than what's his name from Ghost Ager.
Ugh.
My God,
Uh-oh.
Tensu could fight better than this thing. Alpha could fight better than this thing. You need bunny ears in 2015? Really?
Have you
God
never heard of
damn.
Does Bluetooth not exist in your country there?
2 words.
Wireless control.
Actually, 3 words. Cheap royal bastard.
And of course they just now notice the Vivek's taking the robot. You stupid bastards.
Well, no wonder that robot sucked. He's being controlled by an Atari 5200 wireless controller.
Oh,
Piece
fuck.
of shit.
Oh. No. You know, there's only one thing worse. Atari 5200 clone remotes.
That is pretty bad.
What's he do? What?
Don't you want to shoot me? Yes, I want to shoot you.
Murder.exe beginning. Also, $20,000 on the Prince of on the Knight of Xandar.
Wow, that's cheap.
Judd, you're supposed to have a price on the Super Mega Force Rangers, not the Dino Charge Rangers. Oh wait, this actually makes sense.
Well.
Oh, no. Can't talk. Pronto Burger. Go hell.
It did not choose me because I did not pilot Pansy Robot with shitty 1977 control. I fought like man, not with pussy robot.
Wait. Snobby British Jew trying to control a guy that fights worse than he does. Holy shit, that is William Regal.
I know, right? Only Coda's actually like Nick Dinsmore, not Eugene.
Yeah.
They
Come
fight
on,
about the same, too.
I see what he's doing now. He's gonna do all these nice things so he can prove to the Intergen that he's worthy.
Hang on, I hear Mystic Force calling. They want their gimmick back.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Gimmick infringement.
I'm pretty sure we've seen this before, and it didn't work then. It's not going to work now.
Come on, light it. It's like, okay, buddy. It's an energen. Blowing all of that money isn't going to make it work. You only blow that amount of money if the lady you want to pork is a gold digger.
Whoa, Doctor, who are you and where have you been all my life?
Hello.
Who is she and what is her phone number, please?
Yeah.
I want to pay more attention to that blonde there. It might help.
Yeah.
What? Might? Give me a break. I'm like Schwarzenegger in Total Recall. I have a weakness for blondes.
Come on, honey. We're married. Consider that a divorce.
What have you been feeding this thing? Blondes?
I ate green berets for breakfast.
Here's a question. Does she know?
Something tells me she's going to find out if she doesn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
She's got kidnap bait written all over her.
Yup. She is the damsel in this episode.
Find your skeepers.
Hey, at least he's and there's Fury.
Tell you what, good timing on Fury's part.
Yeah. And we need to bring this up. Good move out of Prince Philip there.
Yeah, when he realized it wasn't going to happen, instead of being a dumbass, he went right to the Rangers and said, "Hey, I tried, it failed. Here you go. See if you can find someone who's worthy of it."
Here's your trophy. You tried.
Yeah. Have a big old steak.
Yep.
We really need to make that a button.
What button?
Good try, have some steak.
Have some steak bun. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Oh, here we go.
Oh no.
Ah,
Oh!
exploding grass. My one weakness.
Wait. The grass from Ultima 3?
Oh no!
Run! Get out of there, kid! It's gonna kill ya!
Yes, hide behind a 3 feet stone statue. You'll be fine there.
It's not gonna fall over and possibly kill you.
Actually, no, it's not even stone. It's plaster. Yeah, you're perfectly fine.
I'm sorry. I don't want to give this kid a stupid, but I have to.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
Big brother, why do you have a gun? You know guns are not allowed in New Zealand and Australia. They're illegal. You know I'm going to have to report you, right? Oh, here we go. Yes, go with the men in suits and the black sunglasses.
Uh-oh.
Oh, here we go. Matty, get the button ready.
Which one?
Get the man button ready.
Because Prince Philip's about to become a real man's man.
Damn right.
Congratulations, Philip. You've been bonded.
You done good, kid.
Told you. You can't choose them. They choose you. One of us.
One of us. One of us.
One of us.
And now you get your own.
I don't believe Kyoryu Gray had a Gabby revolver. Shut up!
Shut up, bitch.
Is it morphing time? Damn right.
Get out of here, Sentai Purist guy. But he didn't have a Gabby revolver. He was a Spirit Ranger. Shut up!
I'm just gonna hit the Regal button.
Hit it.
Do it.
He's a man, such a man, such a man. He's a real man's
Okay, wait a minute. Something seems off here.
Wow.
You see it too, right?
It's in the arms.
Class, what's wrong with this picture?
Yeah.
I mean, I could forgive them, you know, covering the chest part kind of yellowish, even though it's supposed to be gray since it was a Spirit Ranger in the stock footage, but you can get around that. But, yeah, about those arms.
State of those blue ass arms, mate. Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to tell out the prop department how to do their job, but gray spray paint. $3 at Ace Hardware. Come on.
Yeah.
Seriously, my
Spray
dad's
paint
got a
and
shit ton of that
permanent
in his shop.
marker. Spray paint and permanent marker. $10. Oh.
That does not look right.
No.
Hell, even the gold on his sash is faded out, like, terribly bad.
Well, these props and costumes do have a shelf life, guys. But yeah, it's sad they couldn't even touch that up. It probably would have made it stick out like a sore thumb if they did. I think they wanted to play it safe.
I think that still backfired on them, because that stands out even worse.
Yeah.
Still, it's not as bad as a cloth shield.
This is
Tommy.
very true.
Ah, blue and gold. My favorite. Oh, if only we had a new mech or something.
Oh!
Wait.
Also, you do know you have a Gabba revolver, right? No, I'm sorry, a Dino Charger that you could shoot this robot with. Just heads up.
And here we go, the real debut of the Pachysazord.
You hear that, Nick?
It's got big balls. You've got big balls.
And we've got
The biggest
cheese balls
of them all.
All right, we fucked that up. I need to get the real one ready now.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't this mech help us on Halloween? Oh, who remembers? Bob the Zord Builder. Can we destroy it? Yes, we can!
Also, Pachysazord uses Tail Whip. It's super effective.
I see what you did there. I am a man! I am become error. Your 30-day trial has expired. Would you like to purchase WinRAR? Well, you say that.
Wow, Sledge
Sadly,
looks like
that
he
was
won.
the best one.
Yeah.
It's the NZ Boys' greatest hits.
Hey.
We know the Christmas specials suck in Power Rangers, so we thought we'd get you a ticket out of this shithole.
I'm already in this shithole.
Well, I've got to get back to managing NXT. We just got Asuka, and of course, I got to deal with the Baron Corbin situation.
And there's that Tyler Breeze fellow that keeps thinking, I'm in the main roster. I need to break it to him, the poor man, the poor fellow.
If Prince Philip puts a monster in the Regal stretch before this show ends, it'll all be worth it.
It'll all be worth it. Yeah.
So if the Dino Gems or the Inner Gems keep you young and handsome forever, he'll be a prince who's immortal. My God, it's every young adult reader's fantasy.
Yeah, right.
Well, I'm back to my mansion with my millions and my dashing good looks. Later, bitches.
Yeah.
Oh.
Woo boy. All right. Actually, I do want to, before we comment on the episode itself, I do have to amend something I said last week in regards to the location, the placement of the Ender Gems. Because this episode kind of corrected that mistake I made.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize there was a second spot for Ender Gems. Should have thought about that.
Live and learn.
Yep, so that doesn't really change that much, but I at least wanted to acknowledge that. On to this episode.
Well, Matty, feel free to help me out here. Now you know.
And
No, I think it's half the battle.
Which
Are
one
we
is
singing
it?
now?
Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks! we need to keep a record of that. Make sure we know which one we're doing.
Yeah, because this is Power Rangers.
Anywho.
Anyway.
This was a pretty decent episode. I like the way they set this up. You know, he did good things, but what really sticks out is he did it even though he was doing it for the wrong reasons at first. He was doing good deeds, but he was doing it just so he could get the access to the Ender Gem. And the Ender Gem was like, fuck you, that ain't how it works, pal.
Hey, buddy, I don't work that way.
No.
Buddy, I don't work that way.
But,
stop wasting your fucking money. I don't work that way.
Yeah. Can't buy me like that. But when he legitimately rescued Chase's sister for no other reason, you know, it's just the right thing to do.
Yeah.
The Ender Gem acknowledged him. I liked that way that they told that. That was very good.
Mm-hmm.
And Fury with the surprise attack at the exact perfect time.
It's as if he knew.
I know, right? Everything about this episode was good, but I gotta call out that suit. Oh. You were doing good, episode. You were doing so good.
Oh.
What the hell happened? Now, looking at it closely at the end, I realized that wasn't a faded out gold. That was supposed to be like a bronze covering. I believe that was intentional. So, and given the fact that he's kind of an extra ranger and not a regular part of the team, I guess it makes sense that his would look a little different, even though nobody really knows that. But the blue, the arms, what the hell was that about?
that's how gray looks. I'm shuddering to think what Navy will look like. Oh, I'm sorry. Talon Ranger,
Yeah.
a.k.a. Death Bruger.
How are they gonna explain that one? Considering
Your
that.
guess is as good as mine. Hey, in Chip we trust.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanna do my own thing on this one. So as far as rating it, two things. One, we got some unfinished business because we kind of fucked up a joke. When it comes to the new Zord,
I've got big balls. I've got big balls. They're such big balls, and they're fancy big balls. He's got big balls.
and she's got big balls, but we've got
the biggest balls of them all.
There we go. Now let's take it out of the way. Agreed. Great episode. We have our Power Ranger equivalent of William Regal, everybody.
Yeah.
And Regal stretch on a minion, 5 out of 5. 10 out of 10. Easy and I easy can agree with that. But I gotta go. I try and fail miserably, very miserably, to not bring in wrestling into a Power Rangers thing. But I gotta go with the dictionary of OSW, the Old School Wrestling Podcast. They have their own dictionary. State of the definition: that's terrible / stupid / still is silly. Used here: state of your blue arms. Oh. And we thought the Gold Ranger suit was bad.
You know, that we can forgive because it's just a little faded. It still looks pretty much like the Gold Ranger suit. You can forgive that. I mean...
Yeah. Just the Graphite Ranger, it's as if they mixed the suits up.
Yeah, because those arms look like they were ripped right out of the Aqua Ranger.
It must have been one of those things that off camera, when you're in live in person, it looks great, but the camera makes it, or whatever they use.
No, I'm sorry. I don't agree with that. There's no way that could have looked right.
Something happened.
Yeah.
Between Kuryuger and Dino Charge, something happened to that suit. Explain.
My only guess is that, yeah, you're right. Something did happen, and they were trying to fix it, but they ran out of time, and they just had to work with what they had. And it does happen, but, oh, did that hurt. Did that hurt? Thank God the rest of the episode makes up for it. Like, that's the only major complaint I have is that suit.
And at this point, it is a nitpick, but yeah.
Also, notice what they're doing here. Prince Philip's not joining full time. I think that's their way of tiptoeing around the situation, because Philip is going to be an auxiliary ranger. He's not joining the team full time.
Yeah, well, then again, they also probably don't have, considering that he was only ever in, 3, maybe 4 episodes total, they don't exactly have much footage of him to work with.
So,
well, you say that, but you see all the new footage with blue arms. All we were missing was blue pants.
Ba-ba-ba-da.
We wish.
If Leva Bates is a ranger in any series, I quit. Wait, I can't. I will not. I will literally not even. But that's another story for another day.
You'll basically be like Peter Griffin in Family Guy in the movie theater when you see something. He's like, done. Throws arms up, walks out.
Yeah.
Done. We're good.
The point is, though, you say that, Shades, but here you are complaining about the faded suit in new footage. I don't think Sentai footage is going to be an issue here, buddy.
Yeah, well, I counter that by saying this is Saban. They are cheap bastards, and Nickelodeon is not going to fund them that much to create that much new footage.
They're as cheap as that remote that Prince Philip tried to use to control the robot there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So,
but it's one of those things. We're gonna look back on this, going, you know what? The suits Maybe, yeah, they could have done better with the suits, but I think story-wise you could forgive it because the story is that good.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those cases where, I've always said that if you have a really good story, you can make up for quite a few flaws. If the costume doesn't look right, or if you're an anime or any kind of animation, the animation isn't like perfect. A good story can make up for that. So it's not it's not a deal breaker, but I have to knock at some points on that one.
Case in point, Power Rangers in space.
Yeah.
I'd like to counter that with an argument made about every single series of Power Rangers. Hell, a good example, season 3 of Mighty Morphin, Matty. I'm not knocking it, but I'm just saying the poses in that show where you can clearly see the wrinkles in the suits, the clips on the sides of the helmets to open it, which you didn't see in Zyuranger, but it still worked.
It's true.
Well, that's just more to my point. Is like, yeah, you have costume designs like that can have flaws. You can have wardrobe malfunctions like that, but if the story is still good, you tend to ignore that. And those are like subtle, like clips on the helmet. Unless you're really paying attention, you're gonna miss shit like that. This one's not so well hidden.
No. But it's one of those. I'm like, the bottom line. It's a nitpick. It's a major league nitpick, but it's a nitpick.
Yeah.
Overall, was the show good? Was the episode good? Yeah.
Yeah. But final rating for me is still a bona fide thumbs up. That one flaw does not ruin the episode for me. It's just a nitpick that I have to call out, but that's not going to ruin this episode at all. Everything else about it was fantastic. A good development for Philip to really get rid of that douchiness of his that we thought he had, and turn him into a decent human being more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Another Chase episode too. Anyone notice that?
Yeah. Well, Chase was a part of it, but I don't think it was centered around him this time either.
His sister was in it.
Well, no, like I said, he's a big part of the
sake.
episode because his sister and everything like that. But I think they just used that as a setup for Philip.
I don't know. I think she was kind of shoehorned in to this episode. I don't know why she couldn't have been in a past episode with him.
Yeah, I think they tried to, they shouldn't have had that here, or at the very least, they should have already established her by now, and then just had this episode in as like an extra thing.
Seriously, Philip could have saved any child, and the Jim probably still would have reacted.
Agreed. I don't think it had to have been Chase's sister. And again, if you were going to use her, at least have her already established, so that way she's there, we know who she is, we don't have to worry about it, but it could still be useful for Philip's sake. But instead, it's like, okay, so you're just introducing her just so that Philip will have someone to save? Okay. Weird. Anywho.
Yeah.
Shall I hit the button?
Yeah, go ahead. It is indeed time. For your emails, comments of the week, you can send them at rangerrecap@gmail.com or the bottom of the page of the there. You get that episode there. Jeez. Who's on the screen, John? Tell him.
Okay. Right here. Anyway, 2 quiz questions only. No more than 2 to 3 questions per comment. No versus questions. 1 email per episode. And please, for the love of God, keep it as brief as possible. And thankfully, we're off to a decent start here. I've got Red Rob starting things off. Here. Oh.
I gotta set up a thing actually. Hold on.
Oh.
You mind if I go?
You want to take this one? All right, go ahead.
I'll take this one. I knew this one's coming, and I want to make sure we're good on this one.
You got it.
So here we are, gentlemen. Just to let you know. By the way, hi, Red Rob. How you doing in the chat? Just so you know, let me know let me tell you guys a little bit of my likes and dislikes, unless I have any dislikes. There's just a few. I began to like manga and anime, kind of like Shades in 2001, Tokusatsu like Easy in 2006, and lastly WB wrestling like Matty since 2001 to 2010. I stopped watching wrestling because of my mother, but hey, at least I watched it from time to time. The rest I watched and read since then. Also 2001, about the same time I started watching WrestleMania X7, good stuff. Is all I'm going to say. Glad to get to know you guys. And here are my questions. And he's put it in there, but I gotta do it like this here. He literally wrote it down in the chat, and I could not do that song justice.
No.
Spaceballs. That's all I'm gonna say. When you die in hell, which Power Rangers villain do you want to see individually? What?
Well, that's kind of morbid.
Yeah, wow. I think what he means is like, okay, let's say you die and go to hell. Which villain are you going to expect to greet you there? Like, which one would you expect to run into when you're there? Or would you want to meet there if you're like, okay, if I'm going to be in hell, let's only meet a Power Rangers villain?
Probably going to go to hell anyway because of all the decade jokes, but I don't know who I'd want to see in hell. I don't know. Probably an annoying villain like Divatox or Lothor. I would go with one of the annoying villains.
Oh, I think that's who you'd expect to see because that would be our hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually,
Carol Hoyt
Divatox,
Divatox, not Hillary Shepard Divatox.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Divatox, that's too good. You know what? I if I die and go to hell, I can almost see Elgar showing up.
Oh God!
Oh God!
That's hell, folks. Right
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Hell.
that'll do it. Even
Hell.
more than Lothor, because at least Lothor you can get a laugh every once in a blue moon.
Elgar is pure punishment.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
So if
this
you go to
is why-
heaven,
this is
go to
why that's why we worship Furbus.
So if I do go to heaven, Elgar is there, and I get a sledgehammer and a steel chair and tables, ladders, chairs. Oh my!
Yeah. Also, I want to point out something here. I know what you mean when you say individually, but guys, more often than not, if we're all on the same page here, we're all on the same page. So
Yeah.
just go ahead and knock that off. If we all have individual answers, we'll give them. But otherwise, don't be surprised if we all agree on the same answer, because sometimes that's just that simple.
But he mentions the next one is optional if you don't need to answer the question. But he does ask, did you guys know about Ricardo Medina Jr.'s accident?
No, actually, I didn't. I mean, I
think
know
he means the self-defense case.
if that's what you're talking about, then yeah, I think we
yeah.
reported on that actually.
I believe this was brought up in one of the earlier episodes.
Yeah,
Yep.
for those
Way
who
back in the backlog.
Yeah, for those who don't know what we're talking about, there was an incident where Ricardo Medina Jr., aka Cole from Wild Force or Decker from Samurai, got into an altercation with a roommate, and apparently, in trying to defend himself, accidentally stabbed said roommate with a sword. The charges were dropped. I believe he was actually let go because it was considered self-defense, so there really wasn't a case around him, so they dropped the charges. But yeah, we are well aware of that.
I met Rick Medina at Power Morphicon, and he was just the sweetest, kindest guy. You should have heard you probably have heard the promo I recorded with him at Morphicon. Just hell of a nice guy. He's not a bad guy. He's not a killer.
No.
Or he didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah, it was self-defense, and it was an accident, so, I mean, shit like that happens. I mean, apparently the other guy was probably a bigger jackass for trying to pick a fight with him. I mean, say what you will about Rick Medina, the guy knows how to fight. He's been in 2 Ranger series, and he can fight unmorphed. The guy can fight.
Hey, you don't fuck with Decker.
No.
Let's just be honest right there. Decker's a badass.
No. Though I do remember this was another, as DLBot lovingly points out in the chat, this gave us another reason to bash on JDF because he was very quick to denounce the guy before all the facts came to light.
Let's not dwell on that.
No, we're gonna leave it at that.
I'll just throw this to DLBot. Yeah, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Moving on. Oh, and this next one's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, have you been missing Zordon after In Space through the whole franchise?
If I may.
Go ahead.
You may file when ready.
I'm honestly, when you really look back, I'm actually glad that he hasn't been around that long. He had his time, and they really weren't using him very much after Turbo, during Turbo anyway. Like, after Zeo, they were already, they took him out, and, like, they gave us a chance to miss him, and yeah, the search for him in space was great, but there was no way they were going to be able to keep Zordon forever. He was going to have to go. But what I'm grateful for, and the reason why we would miss him, is that they gave him a memorable exit. You know, you can argue about, oh, well, the Z-Way didn't work as good as it should have, yada, 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 but he sacrificed himself to save the universe. He was willing to he let Andros sacrifice him for the sake of the universe. He could have easily not done that, but he's like, no, this has to be done, and I'm more than willing to do it. Zordon went out like a badass. Even if it is a giant floating head in a tube. He went out like a badass. Honestly, that's the best way they could have handled it. So, do we miss him? Yeah. Do we think they should have kept him? No. I think they left him at the right time.
That was the way he needed to go.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. Obi-Wan had to die. Yoda had to die. Sokichi Narumi had to die. Mentors come and go. It's all part of life. I'm pretty sure there are some other mentors I'm forgetting, but, mentors have to go sometime.
Yep.
Mentors, the fresh maker. Wait, never mind. For the greater good. Shut it. Nice lead.
Actually, it's funny enough, we found out that movie's on Netflix right now.
Greater good. I'm trying to remember what that's from. I'm looking at the chat. I'm like,
Hot Fuzz. Hot Fuzz.
Oh God, Hot Fuzz. I'm gonna. Darp. John, Dave me.
Gladly.
Now.
Dave.
I watched that on the way home today. For God's sakes. Fuck's sake! How did I go over my fucking head?
Wow, I haven't even watched that movie in a couple of years now, and I still remember that from the top of my head. Ooh.
I'm an idiot. Okay, that's it for me. I'm Red Rob, here to remind you that the Walt Disney wish list will always come true, even if they had the technology to make those movies. We'll see you next time. Twitch A's rock on. See ya. You really want to be a podcaster, do you?
Yeah, apparently.
You write like you have your own show.
Maybe he does, and we haven't watched it yet. Yeah.
Maybe.
Anywho, I'm up next. I've got Ranger fan Nathan on deck. And I mentioned earlier about the Energems on the wall. Well, he points that out to me as well. So there are separate spots for the Energems, one of the 5 core Rangers and the 5 including Ivan's. As for the episode, it was so good up until the end with all the unnecessary talking during the fighting. Yeah, we were kind of doing the whole Regal thing when all that was going on.
Yeah, we were providing the appropriate soundtrack.
Yeah.
Why do you think I wanted him to cue the button?
See, even when he's sick, he's the fucking
he's on
man.
it. He's on
He's
this
on
shit.
it, boys and girls.
So yeah. But
you watched this episode in advance? No, I just know better.
I had another joke in mind, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. Like that we got to meet Chase's sister.
Show.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Like that we got to meet Chase's sister, and what do you know? Philip isn't a complete ass after all. Anyway, questions. Was there ever a moment in Power Rangers, Super Sentai, or Kamen Rider that almost brought you to tears?
The Z-Wave.
Too many to list here.
Yeah, I couldn't even, like, Power Rangers, yeah, I think, actually, even for me, because I wasn't even really watching that heavily when the Z-Wave hit.
Well, okay, if you want us to go through the feels again, fine. Okay. When Philip died.
Yeah.
Using quotation marks. When Ankh died.
I almost feel
when we thought that Nito was going to die.
I almost feel like I need to hit the spoilers button.
Nah.
Hell, you want to go for one more recent? How about when Chase died? I think I literally shed a tear on Toku-Riffs.
Wow, I don't think you said that last time. So wow, I didn't know that.
That's
Come
something.
on, he was the only likable character on Drive for the longest time.
It's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, question number 2.
There's a lot.
At what point so far in Dino Charge has it given hope that this will be so far the best of the Neo Saban era?
Episode 1.
Yeah, pretty much right from the get-go.
I mean, like the first 2 episodes, I think set the tone, and they built on it, and they keep building on that. Do they have missteps? They do, but that's par for the course for every Power Rangers series ever.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, it's like this will be the best of the Neo Saban era. Understatement might be a good word for that. It's a good question, though.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I think Mike in the chat, when the Pink Ranger, Galaxy Ranger died. Yeah.
Oh, that one's definitely a good one too. Yeah.
That one hurt.
That was like because they never did that in Power Rangers. Like Sentai does that all the time. I mean, just look at Live Man to see the body count there, but yeah, in Power Rangers, no one ever truly died as far as the heroes were concerned. That was the first time that, until the ending, all turned that around. She was dead. Like there was no getting around it. She was a ghost. She was fucking dead.
Insert Monty Python parrot joke here.
Yeah.
I would
another
put it
sad
like-
moment. Every single female rider death ever.
Yeah.
But for different reasons.
Yes.
Anyway, and actually, speaking of Kamen Rider, third question: why do you think Kamen Rider celebrates the years they've been around rather than the anniversary seasons like Sentai, seeing as Drive was the 25th Kamen Rider series? Actually, I can answer that. The truth is, because if they were to truly do that, it would not really make sense. See, the thing is that there was a big number of years, almost 10 years, without Kamen Rider. I mean, aside from a few movies here and there, there was like at least a good 5 or 6 years without any Kamen Rider at all.
Super Sentai has been constant for damn near 40 years. It has gone without missing a beat. It's come close to being canceled several times, but it still goes.
It's still hanging on. Kamen Rider, on the other hand, from as far as an actual ongoing, like a long-running series, from the late 80s, I think it was like 1980...
88, 89, Black RX was the official last of the
show era. So
series.
from 89 to 2001, there was no Kamen Rider.
I think Black RX was so good they just couldn't top themselves.
Yeah. All that, and of course, in between that time, Shotaro Shinomori unfortunately passed away, so there was that too.
Still, though.
Yeah, but, and then, yeah, we know there was Shin, there was Zeto, there was Jay in between all that, but after that, there was nothing. Absolutely nothing. You know, until Kuga finally came out on the scene in 2001. So, yeah, that's why. If they try to celebrate it by seasons, then it wouldn't fit very well. But if you do it by years, well, now you've got a perfect setup for an anniversary setup.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he also comments how he's voting for Maji Ranger in tonight's tournament. He says he likes Zero Ranger, but there's just something about Maji Ranger that he likes more. Interesting.
Yeah. I could see it. I'm about halfway through it myself, and yeah.
And
It's different.
Yeah.
I see where you're going with that.
Also,
Speaking of Magi Ranger, some big news actually dropped today, and I can't believe we forgot about this. But guess who's going to be on Nin Ninja in the future?
I heard, yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Looks like Yakumo won't be the only magician we'll be seeing.
Yeah, well, did I not say before we should have some magician stuff in here to fill that gap? Look at that! Someone read my mind. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, apparently, I hope you're wrong, Nathan, but apparently we might not be getting a new episode next week.
Well, it is Halloween.
Yeah. So,
Hey, that just gives me more time to get this final episode of Tokuween done. By the way, third one is up on Patreon for patrons. Probably already saw it, but it will be released right after the recap. So make a beeline for tokutai.me after the show.
Yep.
Also, speaking of Halloween, or the day before Halloween, now's your last chance. I removed the classic episodes from Podomatic. You got till Friday around 9 o'clock. Oh no, we're live with game night. Okay, so you got till Halloween midnight.
There you go.
Archive those episodes now, or forever hold your peace.
Yeah. I will put them up in a Google Drive or something like that in the future. In the future, buy a hybrid. Not now. A, I don't have the bandwidth. B, I don't have the money for the bandwidth.
Yeah. Anyhow. So that does it for Nathan. Matty, you're up with Solar Star.
Let me see. Right. Yeah, I have Solar Star here, and having robots doing everything is not always the best idea. No.
Really?
No.
You think they would have learned after Lightspeed Rescue? Remember that one idiot that tried to make robot Lightspeed Rangers?
Yeah,
Didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work then. It obviously didn't work now.
That guy was a general, right?
Generally outrageously stupid.
Yeah.
I was gonna say general. Yeah, he was a general. Not anymore.
Generally idiotic.
Yeah. General idiotic.
Moving on.
We finally get our. For those in the chat who got that reference, I salute you. We finally got our Graphite Ranger, which what we should have gone a week ago. It kind of a montage of Philip trying to impress the Energem, not to mention showing viewers some New Zealand culture, which was a nice touch. Like Tessai?
Yeah, Tessai.
Tessai. It seems Philip will join the fight only if the situation calls for it. It makes a bit more sense, really. I'm giving this episode 5. Good luck saying that.
Just say Pachyosaurus or Pachycephalosaurus.
Thank you. See, 5.
Saying that 3 times.
What
fast.
John said, fossils out of 5. I read that word, folks. I fuck up words more than usual on those long ones. Great debut for the new Ranger, though. He needs to work on sounding like he's in a fight more. Does Regal ever sound like he's in a fight? No, he's a classy guy.
Yeah.
Just saying. Even when he's putting you in this Regal stretch, he's classing up the joint.
Mm-hmm.
As for Zero Ranger versus Mighty Ranger, it's kind of ironic that Zero Ranger is how most of us knew of Machiko Soga. I got that name right. Through Mighty Morphin, and the Mighty Ranger was her swan song.
That is true.
There's some irony on that, actually. Yeah, it's a good coincidence, that's for sure. Questions. 1, in your opinion, who is the face of Mighty Morphin? Red or white? Red.
Red. All right, let's put it this way. Yes, Tommy became like the poster boy for the series as it was, with how popular it was and how often he was,
and we've been regretting it ever since.
But at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, when you were seeing memorabilia for Power Rangers, which Ranger were you seeing on the front? Red. White was in the back. Red was in the front.
Let's see. Let's put it this way. Red's always going to be the leader. But there's always that one Ranger that's going to steal the show. I mean, come on. Jetman had Yuki Guy. Gokaiger had Gokai Silver. Guys, help me out here.
Yeah. I think you got
I can't think.
I'm
Kaku Ranger had Tsuruhime.
Yeah.
Sure. Sorry, guys. I'm sick. That's all I can think of.
Yeah, it's good. We get the point. There's always that one Ranger that tends to stand out more often than not.
Oh yeah. Don't force yourself.
And it's not always 6.
No. Like, hell,
No.
you mentioned Time Force, right?
Well, yeah, Pink definitely stood out.
Yeah. Red was supposed to be the leader, but no, he wasn't.
Nope.
Whether it be the Sentai or the Ranger series, the Pink was in charge.
Hell, we're seeing that again in Ninja because we all know who the true leader of that team is.
And it sure as hell
It ain't Hot Boy.
No.
Nope.
He thinks he is, but he ain't.
Yeah. Number 2, if every Red Senshi gathered, what would the more level-headed Reds think of the Reds that are criticized as idiots?
This kid's got some
Probably
growing
the
up to
same
do.
reaction that Shotaro had to Gentaro when they first met.
Yeah.
Be annoyed at first, but they'd get over it for the greater good.
Yeah. That's usually how it goes.
Although, it wouldn't hurt for the more serious ones to give the new guys a little bright slapping. I mean, I could see guys like Geki, Ryu, hell, I'm trying to think of some other serious Reds. Akashi, Boken Red, yeah. Chief. Yeah, he would totally, Takeru, Shinkenger, very serious.
Oh, God, yeah.
No.
Takeru.
Yeah, giving those guys some bright slaps.
Yeah. Hell, I'd see Takeru go up to Takaharu and just go, dude, man, shut up.
Hell, I kind of wish Sasuke and Yosuke would have done that to Takaharu.
Ugh.
And we all know those two didn't start out the most serious.
Nope. That's probably why
It's
they
like,
didn't.
Actually, no. They need to go Ken Titus on their ass, right, Matty? So,
Bet you're not going to do that again, aren't you?
No. Better one. I never hit my boys. I just took years to break down their self-esteem to mold them into upstanding citizens. But with you guys, we don't have that kind of time. Whips out fighter. That's something that would be something freaking Akashi would do, aka Boken Red.
Oh, yeah. All right,
Take
that's
shit
it.
seriously.
That's it for Solar Star. Evan Hunter Gale's next.
Yep, okay. That was interesting. As he starts off this email. I like the Graphite Ranger. He kicked ass, but the name of his attack, well, not so much, because the name of that attack just fell off and rushed to me. Just fell off and rushed to me, sorry. Don't get me wrong, I like this episode because the acting is better than the last 4 seasons of Power Rangers. Wait, well, I guess if you're counting Super Mega Force and Super Samurai, okay then. And that's what's keeping me from hating Dino Charge so much. And basically, there's not a thing to hate about Dino Charge at all, except the clip show episode. Thanks a lot for confusing my brain even more, Nickelodeon, you lazy pieces of... Cover the child juice for this one, guys. Spoo! Yeah, I went there. And here are the questions for you. Now, this first one's directed at you, Easy. Apparently, he posted a video to your Facebook page. And he wanted to know if that gave you any ideas for you and your Imagine.
Gonna have to be a little more specific. I've been out of it for, well, the weekend.
Yeah. Sorry, dude.
You might have to repost it, buddy.
Anywho, second question's for me. Which Showa writer is my least favorite? Sad part is I haven't seen enough Showa-era Kamen Rider to really have a least favorite, so I couldn't honestly answer that for you there. Get back to me another day. Okay, and third and final question. Natty, if you want to see a tokusatsu series made into an anime, what toku would it be?
Not a question for you.
I know, right? I think you got your shit mixed up. What the hell?
I think he's just trying to spread the love a little bit there.
We appreciate it, but,
Yeah.
put some thought into it next time. Because, that should be a question I should be fielding.
Yeah.
Scattershot, buddy.
Yeah.
Though, if you're more talking toku into anime, I'd love to see how they would do Beetleborgs or B Fighter.
Ooh, I could see that, yeah.
That's an idea.
There you go. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, I'm not much either. Oh, Zeldrax, dude!
What'd he do?
He gave us another freaking novel. Should I?
You made Dave when ready.
Yeah. Zeltrax, this one's for breaking rule number 5. Dave! Every week with you. Give us these now. All right, I'll take this one, Matty. I'll let you have the next one.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now we come to the true episode 15 of Dino Charge. Yeah, screw you, Nickelodeon, for preempting this episode. Thanks to your day of play in the Kids' Choice Awards. I loved this one. When we first met Philip, my thought was the same as everyone. He's a spoiled brat who needed a Dante Bosco honor fire punch in the balls to shape up, and he'd be better for it, in my opinion. Another thing I loved about this episode, this was yet another episode with barely any Kyoryuger stock footage. Chiplin is amazing and crazy at the same time for making an episode that barely relies on the source footage for the plot. For example, the Jibo robot from Kyoryuger that was going to be used as Dogold's body was originally a helper robot, got turned into Philip's training robot and actually got more to do thanks to the change. Also, I agree with Matty. Poisandra has Sledge pussy whipped.
Thank you.
You know, Fury got a moment to shine in Sledge's eyes by saving Posandra from Kyoryu Deboss Tentacle. Hey, until we get a name for that monster, I'm going with Kyoryu Deboss for now. Also, take a shot for another shot of D and strangely Krazer from the Operation Overdrive in one of the cells. Odd. Actually, I don't know what's odder, the fact that they had that monster from Overdrive in there, or the fact that you noticed it.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what fans do. They notice things.
Apparently.
Hey, SBD had an equation in it.
Yeah, but recognizing something from Aquitar is one thing, but it's Overdrive. How would you remember anything from Overdrive? Anyhow.
Maybe you recognized it from Bokinder.
I can only hope. Aside from Philip saving Chase's sister to prove his worth to the Energem and thus morphing him into the Gold Graphite Ranger, this episode was pretty solid. Wait, you had a problem with that? Heck, I think even the actress for Chase's sister did a fine job, too. One of the better child actors in the Neo Saban era. Yeah, go figure. This will probably be the last time, so time for some more Megazord Madness BS. Good. Well, this ain't BS, because Trent's Dino Stegazord is absolutely destroying Tor, the Shuttle Zord. I will definitely be seeing the Dragon Zord versus the Falcon Zord next week due to their matchup being so weak. RJ's Wolf Zord and Falcon Zord, and Rocky's Ape Ninja Zord versus the Dragon Zord. The Delta Command Megazord versus Daggeron Solar Streak Megazord. Ironic, since both Zords are piloted by the same dude who plays both Rangers. And Zane's Mega Winger is losing to Titanus. And finally, Korak Tatastros is kicking Ninjor's blue ass.
No love for Ninja Man.
No.
Matty.
Nope.
I guess Korak finally did the smart thing and didn't call him a newbie.
True.
It does definitely look like MMPR is going to dominate this thing again. Yeah, I'm so sorry for my language, but screw the MMPR nostalgia whores dominating everything. These polls, the figure arts, and such like that. Dude, we've been saying that forever. Where you been? Trust me, I knew as soon as this whole Megazord Madness thing started, it was just going to be another freaking MMPR fan wink. I knew that from day one. That's why I'm glad we have our tournament, which can't be that. Anyway, I'm going to put aside my money for those blank figure arts bodies that got announced so I can nab some. The very first Red Falcon I make with one of those blanks will be for easy shelf and collection.
Yay!
Yeah. Alright, Matty, you get, that's it for Zeltrex, so you got Keith.
I got Keith, and I believe there's something we need to be ready for.
I've got my button ready.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Hey, guys, sorry for lack of an email last week. I was gathering my thoughts on the recent 2 episodes of Dino Charge. Hopefully, I will not disappoint my responses. Episode 15, at least it's not a novel.
Yes.
I think I have a new favorite episode this season, mainly due to the fact that it shows a better side of Chase. It shows that the Prince of Xandar wants to improve himself, not be a douchebag. And it also makes me wish that we got this episode before the Halloween one. You're not alone. Speaking of which, Halloween special, I would have forgiven this episode if it weren't for the fact that it should have aired on Halloween, proving that more modern Nickelodeon is intentionally trying to sabotage shows with good writing. Looks like once again I have to use this clip to describe this douchebaggery and stupidity of this network. John, hit the button. It needs to be louder, but yeah. Daily Show, go fuck yourself.
Oh, trust me, it was a lot louder for the chat, I promise you.
For those listening to the audio recording, I'm sorry. Question for all: do you guys ever go with the theory that Silver Guardians eventually became SPD and SPD eventually becomes Time Force?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh,
yeah?
that goes without saying. That's like almost a given.
It makes sense.
Heck,
Especially given that Sky's father, which, screw you, Judd. I don't care what you say. I still think Wes is Sky's father. That's why he's wearing the Time Force outfit. I mean, come on. Let the fans have that one.
Jeez, it's the Bond in general needs to just drop the whole no continuity bullshit. It's bullshit. Come on. It's continuity like that's what keeps us fans coming back. I mean, you don't have to make it a big deal. Just drop in those things every once in a while. Let the fans sort it out.
I'm still not over that whole thing where Judd said that Kendall Morgan and Kendricks Morgan weren't related either. That again was another shot in the nuts.
Yeah, and hell, I freaking if freaking Samurai and Megaforce hadn't fucked it up, I would have said RPM was also taking place in the same universe. You could have easily worked with that. No, they had to go fuck that up too. It's like Rocket Raccoon said. You just want to suck the joy out of everything, don't you? Right? Seriously.
They fucked that up too!
Yeah.
Seriously, if I have time at Ranger Stop, I would love to get both Jason Font and Chris Villette, and there's like father, son, hug.
I don't care
How
what.
awesome would that be? Come on! Who would not love to see them acknowledge that content, that fan theory?
Yeah.
Again.
Do me a favor, Easy. Don't ask that at the 18 plus panel.
Well, obviously, Matty.
No.
That's a good way to get your ass kicked when you're drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Again. Now the whole West Sky thing, it's just a theory, but it's only a
Ranger theory. Thanks for
watching.
Love you, Matt Pat.
That's it. Next up is Supernova, and your wish shall be granted, John.
Yeah, the timing of we kind of set this up unintentionally. I did not realize this, but he requested that I read this one.
Yes.
He literally starts, "Hey Shane, since it's been a while, can you read this email, please?" Well, your wish is our command.
Your wish is granted.
Hey guys, Supernova RX here, and bad news, I lost my powers, and a certain evil me you guys should remember is back. Okay, anyway. Moving on, episode 16. I thought there was too much fighting in this episode, but everything else was great. It's nice to see that Prince Philip was inspired to help the Rangers and willing to give the Energem, then just keep on trying. But due to the bravery, he became the Graphite Ranger. And since he is a prince, makes it so he can't stay, but just too bad this didn't air last week instead of the other episode. Dude, you gotta fix your grammar, dude. Throwing me off. Also, plane tickets for Christmas, Chase. How convenient. 4.5 out of 5. Also, for the tournament, I chose Maji Ranger, and it has nothing to do with Ruby Volume 3, nor Back to the Future Day being why Mega Ranger won. No, not at all. Okay, I like the way you did that. So, 2 questions. 1, if in the world of Ruby, what would be your semblance? Okay, you're going to hate me for this, and I'm kicking myself for this. I have not watched Ruby.
Neither have I.
I want to.
Choice.
Yeah. I have it on my Crunchyroll queue. I have it up. I just have never had a chance to sit down and actually watch it. But I've heard a lot of good things. And if that death battle with Yang and Tifa was any indication, I'm interested in what they have to offer. So get back to me another day on that one. And second, why do you think we don't see many purple and orange Rangers, let alone a brown one?
I think because, well, I just don't think they're popular colors. I mean, people are so quick to choose primary colors, but they'll always go with the color wheel. They'll never, go outside that region, because sometimes, you go out far enough past the rainbow, you're going to get some colors people don't like.
Yeah. I mean, purple, well, they try a little bit with purple, just not as often, and orange, just, I don't know. The other thing is those colors can be very hard to work with in terms of a lot of different things. So
that and I think they got a good thing going on with the red, blue, yellow, green, black, pink scheme going on. It's worked for 40 years. Why screw that up now?
Yeah, I mean, if the setup gives you an opportunity to try a different color, go for it. But don't be so quick to jump on new colors just so you could have them. Make it make sense. Yep.
We gotta hurry up, guys.
Yeah, well, hey, we're more than halfway done. And lastly, Kotaro Minami facts. 1, even the editors of Master Writer thought Kotaro was better. How else would you explain the mistakes in editing? 2nd, not even death can stop this mighty writer. And last, Kotaro is the true final hope. Well, we'll see you guys next time. And thankfully, Matty, you got a very short one.
Yeah. Hey guys, my question is, who's your favorite comic writer from the Heisei era, excluding Yuka and Satonaka?
Satonaka.
Yes.
She's not a writer.
No.
In a net movie, she was.
Yeah. Also, I think you might want to clarify, since you're mentioning those names. You're probably meaning female writer, or unless, well, yeah.
What was the other one?
Yuka.
Doesn't ring a bell.
No.
But again, I'm sick. I'm sick, folks.
No, that
yeah.
Tell you what, Simigrath, rephrase that question. Get back to us on that one.
That's it for
the
him,
time being, I'm gonna say Femme because she was the first, and plus her counterpart on Dragon Knight, Siren, was kind of cool.
Anywho, I got LPH here with another quick one. Hey guys, good episode, and fuck you, Nick, for having this episode this week and not last week, you jackasses. Okay. I got one question. So the reboot Power Rangers movie, we all know that all the actors, but the Yellow Ranger. My question is, will the Yellow Ranger be a girl or a boy like in Japan? Ooh, that is a good question, actually.
I think they should play it safe and have a girl.
Yeah, they kind of need to keep that balance going there. I mean, they've already got three guys as it is. Putting in another guy would be too risky for this series.
Yeah, if they are going Mighty Morphin, they should keep it as close to the original team dynamic as possible.
Yeah. Oh, and I have to read this part. So that's it for now. That's it. Now it's WWE 2K16 time for me. And Natty, how big is Frankie's dick?
What?
How big is?
Not even gonna swing at that one.
He's talking about what happened on Saturday.
Oh.
I promised these guys I would not.
Oh, that.
Yeah, I promised these guys I wouldn't play that during this show tonight because I already have played it the last 2 nights in a row, and I don't want to be that big of a jackass. So.
But to answer your question, big enough to beat you in the head with it.
Yeah. Oh crap. Okay, dude, I'm gonna have to take this next one too because it's DLBot and he gave us a novel.
Yeah.
Anyway,
DLBot needs a Dave, and you need to
I need to be quick. All right, DLBot. First of all, Dave, you're worse than Zeltrax. Anyway, he does mention how after the debacle from last week, we had a proper debut. Let's see. Sparring with the GoBot. Huh? How ironic! The robot that was created for peace is used for combat practice. Let's see. It goes over all the details here. Trying to see if there's any good comments to add in here because he got a lot. He did a full recap, folks. Dude, don't need to do this anymore. Summarize. Don't recap the entire episode. That's our job.
Please.
Yeah, yeah, there's nothing here. Okay. Comments on the suit. Yeah, well, maybe Violet's suit won't suffer the same fate. Oh, Fies, I jinxed it, didn't I? Yes, you did. And, I will say this about the fight with the main ranger. Stop talking! God, that's getting tiresome. I think it would be better if we saw Philip practicing that. Yeah, actually, there's a good one here. The fight with Jibo and Philip was awesome, but I think it would have been better if we saw Philip practicing that particular punch of his earlier in the episode. Oh, well.
Well, he was sparring with the robot, but yeah.
They should have had him do something akin to that punch in that practice, so that we can see that he has practiced something like that.
Debut battle, God mode.
Yeah. Now we do have to take a second here because before we get to the questions, he wanted to show this off. His something he got for his dad gave him for his 18th birthday, and that is this. Okay, come on. Oh, I posted. Oh, wait a minute. No, it should be showing up. What the fies, man? There it is. Got it.
Uh-oh, I don't want to hear uh-oh.
But yeah. Little birthday cookie with a Aberray Killer on one side and Dino Charge Gold on the other.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty good, too. Aberray Killer's mask is a little off, but not too badly. But holy crap, did he nail Kyoryu Gold. So props to your dad on that one. Anywho, questions. What 6 Ranger do you feel had the worst character development / backstory or had the most wasted potential?
I'm going to have to go with the twins from RPM. Not because they annoyed the hell out of me. They just... That goddamn alphabet soup think tank. Literally, nothing is known about them. They're just friends for Dr. K. It's like, poof, here's some friends for you, Dr. K. We'll make them Rangers.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Had the worst backstory. I wouldn't say that they had the worst character development, though. They did have some decent character development as the series went on.
Well, well, he did say backstory.
Yeah, they did have the worst backstory. I will grant you that.
Worst character development, I don't know. I'm, again, too sick to think.
Actually, I think you're going to probably agree with at least one of DL Bot's 2 choices. He's got 2 picks. The first is Taizan. Because, they had no idea what the hell to do with him at first, and then they bring back the fiance out of nowhere. How the fuzz is that?
I do call bullshit on, but I do, and you can crucify me for this if you want, but I do give them credit for going the original route and not making him a cut copy and paste of Boken Silver. There, I said it.
Yeah, there you go.
He was not a cut copy and paste of, shit, I can't even think of his name right now. Eiji.
Yeah, I was actually just watching your review of that, of the, Bokenger versus Super Sentai review of yours. Anyway, and number 2, I think we can all agree, Orion. And he goes, Orion, seriously, why wasn't he from KO35? And he has this.
It just raises too many questions.
Here, actually, let me play that one more time because that was really quiet even for me.
It just raises too many questions.
Yeah.
Thank you, Val Kilmer. Where's Matt when we need him?
I know, right?
Whiskers right now.
We do. We need whiskers. And of course, anyone who doesn't know about Matt Burkett's character, Matt Burkett's, meow.
Well, we are gonna
see him
in the near future.
Yeah. Anyway, number 2, who do you feel was the best mentor / partner in Kamen Rider, i.e. the one who teaches the writer how to transform, use combos, etc.?
Again, too sick to think, so top of my head, Ankh. Ankh from O's.
Yeah. Actually, I'd have to agree with that, Ankh. I mean, because he had a great character, and he definitely made sure to teach Eiji how to use those powers, because I would have loved to see Eiji try to do that on his own.
Yeah.
Actually, we did see him do it on his own. How he fell miserably.
A runner-up would have to be Hana from Dino, but she didn't know how to do everything. It was kind of a tie between her and Momotaros, but even Momotaros didn't know how to do everything.
Yeah, so it's between the two of them. He actually gives it a tie between Ankh and Philip from Double.
Philip didn't know how to do everything. He knew the most, but he didn't know how everything worked.
Yeah.
I'd say they're more partners than mentor.
Well, he said mentor/partner, so that does count.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Anywho, number 3, who do you think was the least threatening final villain in Kamen Rider?
I'm gonna have to go Kiva for this one because they bring back the King, aka the Bat Fangier, for no other reason than he was a baddie in the past. No build up, no nothing. It just makes no sense. And I love Kiva, don't get me wrong, but that just felt like a tacked on final villain. Taiga should have been the big bad, but I think they copped out at the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was confusing.
Yeah,
I would say Kai, but he's just crazy for the sake of being crazy. You don't really need an explanation. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Mm-hmm. Kai from Deno, I assume?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. He actually
a lot of people complain about him.
Yeah, actually, the answer he picks, and I actually have to disagree with this, Dr. Maki.
Really?
His thing is, like, he was so over the top and goofy, and when he was not in his greed form, I could not take him seriously. Now, when he's in his green form, he actually gets pretty threatening and badass, thankfully, because
admittedly, he telegraphs his villainy way too early, as I mentioned in my review.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not totally wrong.
Yeah, but other than that, I don't think it was that. I don't think he wasn't. He had his moments of threateningness. Like when he, even as Dr. Maki before he became a full-on greed, there were moments when he started turning evil that you could tell there was something sinister going on there.
He roasted his sister alive.
Yeah, I think at that
point, even though she was being a bitch to him, holy shit. When I had disagreements with my sister, and I know I'm repeating myself here, I put a rubber spider down her dress. I didn't set fire to her bedroom.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Matty, you and your sister never had that kind of problem, did you? Matty?
Yeah, I'm here. Define that.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it at that.
Anywho,
what was it again? I blanked out. Sorry.
It was Dr. Maki.
No, least threatening final villain in Kamen Rider.
Yeah, but what about my sister? I was like, we don't have a.
We were talking about Dr. Maki and the fact that Dr. Maki burned his sister alive.
It's like you have disagreements with your siblings sometimes, and nothing to that degree.
Oh, dude, no, never.
No. Anywho, so that's it for me, guys. Only 2 weeks till Ranger Stop, boys. And by the way, Shades, I'm going to take a shot in the dark as to who the mystery guest is going to be at Ranger Stop.
And his name is Lobo Fuerte. Luchadores, the faceless heroes.
Yeah, he put that in there.
If the guy who played Lobo Fuerte actually showed up to Ranger Stop, I think both me and Matty would mark the fuck out.
Yeah.
God help us if the guy who played Turbine showed up and he saw that video. It's like, that was all satirical, right? You know that, right?
we were. It just.
Can't you take a joke?
Yeah.
Although, it would be nice if Sarah Carter showed up. Wink, wink, hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
What do you know what I mean? Anyhow, he does actually have 2 legit guesses here. He says, number 1, Jeffrey Perazzo. I'd love to see him there. He's my favorite Ranger, and I still have a DX Drago sword I'd love to have him sign. And number 2, Rick Medina. I could see you guys tapping out after hearing him as a guest.
And let me go to Bill Murray from Ghostbusters here. Good guess, but wrong. Zap.
Yeah. We do know who the mystery guest is. No, we are not telling you. That's why you got to come to Ranger Stop so you can find out.
Good guesses, though.
Yes.
Good guesses. I would like to see both of them, too. You are right.
So you want to find out who the guy is showing up, right? You want to know?
Yeah.
Yes, then. Get your ass to Ranger Stop.
There you go.
That's it. That's all we're telling you.
Anyway, that's going to do it for DLBot. And Matty, you finish it off with A Justice.
Jesus, another paragraph. Okay.
Hey
guys, it's been a while since I don't think I could add anything that's been said by you guys in other emails. I wanted to say that why I enjoyed this episode because I thought some give personal insight in this. I really like how Philip was handled. They never wrote him off as a spoiled, rich, or entitled prick stereotype. Heck, even if his debut didn't make him out to be too really bad. Sure, he was a bit of a jerk, but he could have been justified. I was angry that the music was showing off people posing as royalty. I like that he tried to earn being a Power Ranger, but was going at it the wrong way. It didn't come off as wrong way. See, this is what happens when you don't separate your paragraphs. I lose my freaking If anything, he didn't come off as someone who's doing this for frills, or he felt they should be worthy because he's royalty. If anything, one reason he probably wanted to be a Ranger was so he wanted to be the Power Ranger to protect his kingdom from an alien threat, and it was cool for him to try giving the Power Rangers the Energem after he seemed to fail, so it would at least end up in the right hands, showing up the good of judgment. See, now you put it in a paragraph, you know. And while his fight isn't anything special, it's just fighting his robot, but it was a good original footage. At least he got a fight as opposed to Tessai. I fuck up names, folks. That's me. From what I recall, and I also enjoyed the subplot with Chase spending some time with his sister. Actually, I really like that they did the performance of the New Zealand dance. I hope they do more stuff like that at the museum and some of the viewers show some of the viewers a bit of culture. As for the question, what if the next Taisen movie used a Sentai villain faction instead of Kamen Rider? And which one would you think is a good choice? That's it for me. See you later.
That's actually a good question.
Yeah.
Didn't they already kind of do that in Gokaiger Ghost Sager? They brought back Black Cross, which was the first Super Sentai villain faction, and we don't want them to become another Shocker.
No, we don't need that.
No.
Honestly, this is the hard part because you got to be careful. Unlike Kamen Rider, it's harder to see Sentai villains coming back. A lot of them tend to be one note.
A lot of them weren't an evil corporation. They were just a band of villains. There was Volt, Viram, Witch Bandora's gang, the Goma tribe, the Zangyak army.
Yeah, that's the only one I can really see being usable in any way. But even then, the Emperor's
already done
dead.
it. They've already done it in Taisen. They've already brought him back, and of course, they did try to bring back Silva from Bioman, Biohunter Silva, but only they changed him to Rider Hunter Silva because that makes so much more fucking sense.
Yeah, let's not get into that.
There isn't really that many. I mean, there are good villain factions in Sentai, but nothing that's really a faction or corporation like Shocker or Foundation X.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why they've been... You know what? I'm willing to bet that's the reason why they haven't focused as much on Sentai, because they can't do as much with it in a series, in a thing like this. Kamen Rider just lends itself better to that kind of setup, whereas Sentai doesn't. So they kind of got caught into a corner.
Yeah. So I think Zangag was actually the first one to try and connect a bunch of villain factions together. I mean, hell, a lot of their soldiers were descendants or people who have survived attacks from previous Sentai teams. Hell, look at the Hurricaneger crossover. Hell, look at the Bokinger tribute episode. Ryuan survived.
Yeah.
We all thought he was dead, but he survived.
Yeah, I think if anything, it's probably gonna have to be. It would have to be Zangyak, some remnants of the Zangyak Empire. So that's gonna be the Shocker of Sentai, if anything.
Yeah, I think that'd be your best bet. But again, I don't want them becoming another Shocker because it's just gonna get annoying. Yeah. And I'm gonna level with you folks. Zongak was not a great villain faction, and it's one of the leering, and once I get to it, and I will review Gokaiger someday, it's going to be the leering cons of Gokaiger. Yes, the perfect show, the perfect Sentai series everyone loves and praises, does have its faults, and the Zongak is one of them.
Yeah.
There, I said.
Trust me, you're not getting any argument from me. Ugh. Anywho,
That's it, everybody.
that's it for the emails. Matt, Easy, you got any comments?
7 comments. Yeah, let the sick guy read them all.
Dude, if you need to, I'll pop over there and have you a hand.
Okay, but there's some paragraphs. Some guys sent me paragraphs too. Oh, also, before we go any further, and let me guys give you the link if you want to contribute.
We got it.
Keep in mind, we can pull up. I can pull up Toku. I've got Toku Tide IME bookmarked.
Yeah,
I've already got it.
Anyway, sorry. Anyway, I wanted to point something out here. One of my fans, Donovan Graff, who comments a lot, brought to my attention that recently that there was no edit function in the comments section. I just daved myself there. I feel like a fucking idiot. I thought comments were editable or made to be edited. But I remembered then I'm an admin of the site. So is Matt Dowding, the guy who runs the site. And only we can edit comments. So I just thought everyone else could. Silly me. So I apologize. For everyone who double dipped on the comments, I didn't know. I'm a fucking idiot. Forgive me. And we're working on fixing that problem. Matt's going to look into a way to edit comments. May only be temporary, may only give you a window, but in future, there should be a way to delete comments and try again. That's probably your best bet. Delete your comment, then try again with the full thing. Type it out in Word or something first, then post it. Practice. That's how you get to Carnegie Hall. But anyway, onto that. We'll see what we can do about that. Anyway. Oh, and look at that. Speaking of the devil.
Yeah,
Donovan Graff's up first. Let's see here. A Power Rangers Halloween special, and luckily for me, I've never seen the Samurai Halloween special, nor any other ones. And also treating Stimero as the Cupid Dino Charger was not bad, but I think we have a bit of romance between Red and Pink. Glares at Tommy, don't even think about it, bud. I don't follow. Sorry, still sick.
And he also adds in here the execution of the Cupid Dino Charger, or as I like to call it, the Stimero. Not that I'm being a Sentai purist. I think that's the second one. His inner comment seems to be more fleshed out on that one. Anywho, Chris Ortiz is up next here. Hello once again, folks. Here are my thoughts on this episode of Rise of a Ranger. So last episode, the Rangers were playing a game of To Tell the Truth. And in this episode, we see Prince Philip again as he discovers the graphite energem and tries to prove himself worthy of bonding with the energem by doing a lot of good deeds. Alright, so yada yada yada. Overall, this was a good character development episode as it shows that you don't do a good deed just for your own selfish needs. You do it because it's the right thing to do. And that's a lesson Philip learns in this episode and probably will play a big part of his character throughout the series. And of course,
by the way, To Tell the Truth, awesome reference.
Yes, very cool. And of course, he bitches at Nickelodeon for botching the debut up a little bit.
And we're moving.
Yeah, and of course, he also adds in of course they're gonna show it again on Halloween anyway. Gee, maybe you should have done that in the first place.
Idiots.
It's always a step forward and 2 steps back with you, Nickelodeon. I swear to Christ.
No kidding. Now then, since
Ranger sword on.
Yep. Now then, since Ranger Stop is just around the corner, and I'm looking forward to being there again this year. Nice, good. We'll hope to see you there, my friend.
Yay!
Yeah. And one thing I thought about was that we haven't seen much of the supporting actors from either Morphicon or Ranger Stop. My question to you guys, what supporting actor from any of the Power Ranger seasons would you like to meet the most in future cons? Jonathan, if you're still here, you might want to pay attention to this.
Yeah. Take notes, buddy.
I
could go with the obvious choice here, but I'm going to throw a wild card into this one. Normally, my answer would be, of course, Greg Bullock, aka Lieutenant Stone. Well, duh. You know, gotta get Team Bulk and Skull back together one day. But I'm gonna go with another one. I'm gonna go with the cutie wootie Olivia Tennant, aka Dr. K. I would love to meet her.
That is something I'd love to see. And
Yes, I know she's married to Ziggy, aka Milo Cawthorn, aka the Green Ranger. I don't care. Dr. K was freaking awesome.
yes. Hell yes. Jonathan, there you go. RPM reunion. Make that shit happen.
Hell, bring them both. Bring the happy couple to Ranger Stop. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'd love to meet Ziggy and Men Ways again with another Green Ranger.
You should have
Everyone
that.
seems to think I hate.
Anyway, that moves up for them. You want me to keep going, Easy?
Matty, you want to take one?
I'll take MD Mars.
Please.
Hello again, recappers. Before I say anything else, I just wanted to thank you for answering my questions last week. I enjoyed hearing all your responses to them. So last week got to see the appearance of the Graphite Ranger, and I gotta say, enjoyed every minute of his debut. I liked Prince Philip's story a lot this week. Wanting so much to be a hero and join the ranks of the Power Rangers is something I believe we all have wanted to be at one point in our lives. So I couldn't help but root for him in a way. He kind of reminded me of Boom from SPD in that regard. Nice reference.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way.
Reference
Yeah,
there.
just without the just replace the clumsiness with a little class.
Ooh,
Yeah.
another good person I'd like to see at a Ranger convention. Kelson Henderson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Considering all the roles he's done, hell yeah.
Phineas, Norg, Flit. The man's done it all.
Yeah, I mean, come on. How many roles has he played? That guy deserves to be at frickin' cons.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, I'd love to meet Phineas. Mystic Force
Oh,
fanboy.
yeah. Let's see. 8.5 out of 10 is what he's given this one. Questions. Last week, I asked common right questions of this time, Power Rangers Super Sentai ones. If one team of Power Rangers were chosen to get a movie adaptation, which one would you want, and what do you think it would be about?
Ooh.
That is a good question. As far as a reboot movie,
I'm trying to think.
all the standalone series.
I got one. And no, it's not Time Force. Nice try. I'd like to see Lost Galaxy. See their continuing adventures on Miranoi.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. I can see that.
I can see that too, actually. I'm going to move on just for the sake of we're out of time.
Yeah, we're short on time here.
We're short. What is your favorite Super Sentai crossover movie?
Ooh, that is a tough one.
Come back to us next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna abstain from that one for now. Again, still
ask it again next week. We need to think a bit on that one.
And do us a favor, remind us that we asked you to ask again, so that way
for the time being, I'm gonna go Kaiger, Go Sager. It was just good.
Yeah, you know what? I actually agree with that.
You know what? Yeah, let's just go with that.
We'll go with that. Yeah, go Kaiger and Go Sager, because that movie it did everything right. So
it had Kenji Oba in it. It wins by default.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck. Yeah.
Anyway.
Number 3. What would your thoughts be on a Sentai theme that was aquatic themed? I can't wait to see what Dino Charge brings us next time. Made of Power protect you. Later, he says. Aquatic theme.
Ooh, I could see that actually.
Like Atlantis themed, like a bunch of Aquamen and women.
Yeah, or have like powers on different aquatic animals and shit like that. You could work with that.
Well, technically, we have seen an aquatic themed team, the Aquitian Rangers, the Alien Rangers at Aquitar.
Well, okay, you got that, but that's a stretch.
I think he's talking about something different though.
Yeah,
I'm just
like I said, I'm thinking like based on aquatic animals and shit like that.
Red's got to be a shark.
Yeah, Red would have to be a shark.
And his final attack, Matty? Sharknado.
Yeah.
If they actually did that, I think we'd all be laughing our asses off.
And his main weapon is an Iron Zeering-sized chainsaw, like the one we used in Sharknado 2.
Oh, jeez.
How awesome would that be? No, even better, the laser chainsaw used in Sharknado 3. The lightsaber one.
Actually, I could see them doing that.
Oh.
Yeah, so you'd have a shark, you'd have a mermaid or merman, either one. Oh man, I'm trying to think of all the kinds of sea animals you could use.
Yeah.
Actually, that'd be a good excuse to bring back a fat ranger like Yellow Al. You could have him be a whale.
Ooh, there you go.
Hey, nothing against fat rangers. Raito was fucking awesome in
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah.
Who else could throw giant chunks of styrofoam? I mean rocks.
Let's move on from there.
Yeah.
Easy, I guess you got that one guy?
Yeah, I got it. Hi, guys and Ghost. Hi. It's time for... Yeah, I'm not going to try and say that with my voice. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
But it basically says it's time for Power Rangers Dino Charge, but, you know, they say the elongated version, so forgive me if I don't strain my voice cords here. So we see Fury again. I don't know where he was for the last 4 episodes. Were you with Robo Knight drinking coffee or something? Now I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
No. He was drinking coffee with Robo Knight, Vrack, Red Brown, and Frank Stallone.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that.
No.
You know, actually, I could imagine Nickelodeon doing a thing like, where do these villains disappear to for so many episodes, or all these extra characters disappear to, and then you just cut to them drinking coffee or something?
That's the next. That's the next off the clock thing.
Yeah, I could see that.
If they do a villains version of that, I will not complain. Anyway, Prince Phil, that's what he says. Prince Phil finds the Energem, grab Ranger, blah blah blah. Sorry, we're abridging here. Money to help out people, that didn't work. Let's see, duck to chase sister, blah blah blah. This might be a high point for later for the Christmas episode of Chase seeing his family. Hey, if they don't go clip show on us, I won't complain.
Nope.
I mean, we're the ones who got to sit through that sucker. Nick, why do you show the episode before the Halloween episode again? Hit the ghost say button. Oh, God. You had to do that.
Yeah, Matty,
Hit the button.
hit the troll say.
Wait a minute. There we go.
There's a simple explanation for that.
Damn it, Gosei!
So I'll give this episode 6.5 Chatting Rangers in Battle out of 10. Ah! Good one.
See what you did there.
Good question. Yeah, good one. Question: Do you want to see more holiday episodes besides Christmas and Halloween? I would love to see someone make a Thanksgiving episode with an evil magical time traveling alien.
Hey.
I can't get through that sentence.
You know what? The perfect villain for that? The gobbledygooker.
Yeah.
Oh God.
You know something? Actually, to be honest though, I don't think they should do like a whole special episode, but maybe have an episode around a theme, you know, on that theme. I mean, hell, Sentai does that all the time anyway. Have a have an episode that, you know, that takes place on Valentine's Day, or an episode that takes place on Thanksgiving, but you don't have to make a whole special out of it. Just make it an episode.
Wouldn't be hard.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, that would be funny to see it. If I can get through this sentence, I'm trying to say it again. A evil, magical, time traveling alien turkey. I mean, that's like 5 motifs in one right there.
Yeah.
Dude, 2 questions. What are you on, and where can I get some?
Right? I'll take a hit of that.
I hope you're not huffing metals or shooting up memory, because I've been down that road. Anyway, have a good Halloween recappers. Turns into Kamen Rider Aka Ninja Ghost. Okay then, see you later. And I'll take the next one, Jonathan Wesley Johnson, aka who I believe is in the chat right now.
Yep.
So I'll
Jonathan
give this
Johnson.
episode 7 out of 10.
And well, I guess I get to say this for once. I hold in my hand the last comment.
Fucking
Yeah.
finally.
I know, right?
Also, I recognize that picture. Is that Die Hard Gamer?
Yes, it is. I was just about to say, because I know that face too.
He's going by a different handle, but we recognize you, buddy.
Dude, he goes by a different handle every time I see him. Like, every time he pops up on a different site, I see him with a different handle. Dude, pick one. Anywho, Die Hard's up last here. Hey guys, haven't been keeping up with Dino Chart since I no longer have cable and the show isn't up on Netflix, which is complete bullcrap if you ask me. I will absolutely agree with everyone about how Nick handled last week's episode, however, because it was such a dick move on Nickelodeon's part. I remember watching season 2 of MMPR when Lord Zed debuted on Fox along with the X-Men cartoon in prime time. This brings me to one of my questions, by the way. What did you guys think of Lord Zed when he debuted? Oh god, I love that debut.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Epic.
I was actually pissed. My parents would. It was on late enough that my parents actually sent me to where my bedtime was after that point, and I could never stay up to watch it. So I missed that.
I'm right there with you, Shades. I wanted to watch it too, but my parents dragged me off to some fancy smancy dinner party with the family, and I threw such a tantrum.
Yeah,
You were pissed.
and looking back, we were justified because that was an epic debut. Like, that's how you introduce a villain. He comes in there, frickin' shows how he owns the place, tells Rita to get the flies out of here, and just lays waste to the lays waste to the Rangers like they're nothing in like several. It takes a whole new set of Zords to finally beat his monster.
See, that's how you build up a new villain. Nickelodeon, you should have taken a page out of their book. That's how you should have introduced Vekar.
Yeah, I mean, granted, admittedly, they did try their best in Mega. That's the one thing Megaforce did try to do right. Was he came in there and freaking owned freaking tried to invade the entire Earth, and it looked like a shit had gotten real in that first episode of Super Megaforce. Sadly, they just didn't do anything with it. But nevertheless.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says he personally thought it was very awesome to have an original villain for Season 2, and Lord Zed was a truly evil and frightening bad guy. That is until the parents bitch and complain about him being too dark and scary for the kids. But hey, you know what? Oh, and apparently Robert Axelrod was actually not happy about having to tone it down.
Oh.
You didn't like getting hitched to Rita, huh?
Yes, which is something Robert Axelrod still isn't happy about to this very day. Wow.
I would love to ask him about that someday.
Yeah,
I mean, I see him all the time at Morphicon, but he hasn't come to Ranger Stop yet, to my knowledge.
Anonymous!
Yeah, bring Barbara and Kerrigan, please. Bring the whole...
get the whole villain reunion there. Anyway, I know that you guys aren't big fans. All right, two more questions. Now you guys aren't fan of the Superheroes Heisen movies, but what did you guys think about Hiroshi Fujioka coming back to reprise his role in Kamen Rider Taisen as Ichigo?
Hey, he's a trooper for coming back. I mean, there are a lot of... Actually, I got a question about this recently on Ask.fm, which is up on the site if you want to go ask me a question after this. A lot of people, a lot of Toku guys and girls are some prima donnas who won't come back, who won't acknowledge they were in a Toku before. A prime example is the guy who played Yusuke, aka Kamen Rider Kuga, the first Kuga. And he didn't come back for a decade, obviously, because, he was, ashamed of this past. So a lot of people, want to... It's very, very akin to what Amy Jo Johnson did for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of that thing. It's like, you're attached to this forever. Why run from it? Why try to hide it? So I give Hiroshi all the credit in the world for coming back.
And, well, to be fair, for Hiroshi Fujioka, Kamen Rider Ichigo is not the weirdest thing he's done, so...
He's fucking Segata Sanshiro. He is a god in Japan.
Yeah.
I think he's basically accepted it.
He's accepted
Well,
that he
for
is
lack of a
going
better
to be.
term, like Mark Hamill, he just can't escape it, so he lives with it.
Yeah, yeah. Most people either try to ignore it and pretend it didn't happen, or they embrace it. You know, that's usually how it tends to go. Anyway, third question: what do you guys think about Toei possibly resurrecting Smart Brain from Fives? You think it's a good idea?
Oh, funny, we just had this conversation.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I would love some closure after Fives the way it ended. I mean, it left on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So-
Though, knowing how Toei does things these days, I don't think that's such a good idea.
Well, they keep bringing Takumi back for their movies. Anything's possible, but yeah, I'd be a little cautious.
Yeah, because these days, whenever they bring back a villain faction, it's never the way we would hope it would be.
Plus, I don't think it'd work without Kiba. Two things: Kiba Yuji's dead in the show, and his actor Masayuki-san is dead in real life. God rest his soul.
Yeah. That's just a disaster waiting to happen, so, ugh. Also, he does agree with Easy bringing back Foundation X, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that's it for him. He does mention he pre-ordered his copy of Diet Ranger in the mail for Shop Factor a while ago, and has already watched the first 10 episodes, but the package got damaged, which really pissed him off.
Ah, nuts.
I would say stop twisting the knife, but ouch.
Yeah, I think he twisted it too far as it is.
Yeah.
No, I feel bad for his box getting damaged, man.
Yeah,
That's
I think he slipped. I
sucks.
think he twisted it and slipped out and caught himself in it too. Because
Yeah.
karmic retribution there.
Yeah.
And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Matty, if you would please.
Oh, rangerrecap@gmail.com. That was actually little
Turning it down.
louder. Never mind. Those are your emails and comments of the week. You can send them at rangerrecap@gmail.com. You got it. Live podcasting here, everybody.
Yeah, of course.
Or at the bottom of the page of the current episode of Tokutai at tokutai.me. Scrolls around the screen.
Oh, of course. Toku questions only. No more than 2 to 3 questions per episode. No versus questions. 1 email per episode. And for the love of God, please keep them as brief as possible. We need that, please. But now,
Especially when one of us gets sick. You never know when that's going to happen.
yeah. But now it's time for the Sentai tournament, ladies and gentlemen. And oh boy, we gotta talk about this. Koryu Sentai Zero Ranger versus Maho Sentai Maji Ranger. And folks, we pretty much knew the minute this tournament dropped what the answer was going to be to this one. So, and we begged and we pleaded and we asked you guys to try to think reasonably about this and pick, not just because of what Zero Ranger became, or what its history is with us, but literally based on the same criteria we've always had. Characters, weapons, story, villains, etc. You name it. And you guys put in your votes, and, well, the inevitable has happened, ladies and gentlemen. Your winner for this round is... Maho Sentai Maji Ranger!
The Isotopes win a game! The Isotopes win a game!
Holy shit, the biggest upset in Sentai history!
It's just like in the show, a miracle occurred, Matty.
Yeah!
No!
I honestly, I saw the early votes coming in, but even then I was like, it's gonna turn around by next week. It has to. Then I pop on today, prepping up, and 18-9 is the final vote count, ladies and gentlemen.
I think my Wolsaphone just lit up.
Wow. Yeah, folks, I am amazed. You guys heard us, you listened, and you responded in kind. Holy shit.
I hope this doesn't become a trend.
No.
Think for yourselves next time, guys, because this was not even close.
Well, yeah, though some people did vote. We got 9 votes for Zoo Ranger, so credit where credit is due.
It wasn't a landslide.
No, it was not a landslide, but wow, that was a shocking upset right there. And a lot of you guys did have legit reasons. You know, we got a few emails and comments stating why they voted for Matty Ranger, so credit where credit is due. Yeah, Japanese Harrison Ford wins. Oh, man.
Nah, I think it's Wolzard who won.
Yeah. But with that, it's time for us to move on to the next round, ladies and gentlemen. And I forgot to edit that. Fuck me. Oh, well, we move on.
I'll do it for you this time, Easy. Next time on Death Battle.
Oh, yeah. Now, this one's going to be an interesting one, folks. You guys, I think you guys going to like this one. So, ladies and gentlemen, for our first one, well, let's just say that our current series the current Sentai series is dealing with this kind, and we've run into them not too long ago ourselves. Our first competitors are... That's right, folks. Ninpu Sentai Hurricane-ja, a.k.a. Power Rangers Ninja Storm.
All right.
Fortunately, I did not have enough time to gather up a storyline thing, but you guys know the series by now. I'm sure we watched the 10 Years After movie on Tokyo Riffs.
Mm-hmm.
But, Al, Easy, I gotta ask you a question. Have you looked at the bracket? Do you know who's next?
No.
Then I think.
Oh boy.
Then I think you're gonna like what our next, Hurricane's opponent is. Allow me.
I think
allow
I
them.
know.
Oh, I'm sure you do now. But let us introduce them properly.
西暦3000年の未来人たちと一人の男が出会った新しい時を刻むために未来戦隊タイムレンジャー
Oh, you ninjas are gonna die.
Yeah. Mirai Sentai Time Ranger, a.k.a. Power Rangers Time Force. And ladies and gentlemen, the poll is now officially open.
Ops versus ninjas. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Hey. We finally answered Spoonie's call. But he was abducted by ninjas! Ninjas!
Call the cops!
Call the cops!
Oh.
Call the cops.
Yeah. Oh, and I knew as soon as this one came up, I'm like, oh, Easy's gonna love this.
Oh, man. Guys, don't vote on Time Ranger just for little old me, and don't take pity on me because I'm sick. Let's have a clean fight here.
Yeah. Again, remember, you're voting based on characters, weapons, stories, and villains. That is what this vote is about. So make sure you guys vote properly, all right? If you haven't seen the series, just take a quick time, look them up, do your research. Trust me, there's a Sentai wiki. You can learn this shit. And oh god, the votes are already flooding in. You guys are quick on the draw. But that's going to do it for the main show here tonight, folks. But we're in the last week of yours truly's fundraiser right now. And you guys have known the rules by now. We've done this every week now, for the last several months. But tonight's... Huh? Go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, I was agreeing with you.
But tonight, it's the last week. After tonight, we're gonna be closing it down. So this Saturday is your last day to send your donations in for the fundraiser in order to meet these incentives. And remember, every $10, I get whacked upside the head with the SPOD. I just added last night. Every $15, Mike Shell joins me. Yeah, Mike Shell volunteered to have himself get whacked on camera when he comes down here for Ranger Stop for every $15 that gets donated. And, Lady K was gonna ask you guys if you were willing to volunteer.
You're gonna
Every
pick
20
on
bucks.
a sick man? Have you no shame?
Easy, I got this one. Every 20 bucks, my head gets smacked.
So let's count that up. For every $20, I get whacked twice. Mike Shell and Matty join me. Easy, what about you? Remember, you won't get whacked till Ranger stop.
Still sick here.
All right. All right. I tried. We tried, folks. Nonetheless, that's what's going on.
You guys want to see me suffer? Why aren't you watching my newest Toku Ween, goddammit?
Hey, there you go.
Which, that ending to Godzilla 2000 punished me any more than some little stupid sketchbook ever could.
Also, while we're at it, Lady K's throwing actually up in the ante here. Make it 30, and I'm down for that, she says. I think that's for Matty.
30?
She's saying 30.
Deal.
Oh, yeah.
Deal.
$30, folks.
John gets 3. Mike gets 2. I get 1. And might I add, it's never been hit before.
Oh, wait, no. She's saying for all 4 of us. She's saying
wow.
30 for all 4 of us. That's Lady K's offer.
Yeah, I heard the lady.
That's only if Easy's willing. But again, that's only if you guys are willing to donate that much. Anywho, let's see what's going on the rest of this week here on RVTV. Tomorrow night, Matty Jay Live. Me and Matty here will be joined by TWK and Mike Shell. Talk about whatever random bullshit we ever come up with, because Lord knows we come up with a lot.
True.
And then on Thursday, it's Rift Down. TWK should be back from his vacation, or his little trip, and we'll be back to doing some more riffing on Thursday night, so we'll see join him and his crew for some more fun on that. Then on Friday, it's PS3 game night. These two guys will be joined by Mike Shell and the guys from Hero Taku for some more GTA 5 Online. And we're considering the idea of expanding game night, considering the event of last Friday night, but we'll see about that. It may not happen this Friday, but just keep your eyes peeled. We may have some more streams for that. Then on Saturday, it's SNN Plays with Tony Helms. More Let's Play action with him, and more no, C-Dub will probably be back to join him for that as well, so be sure you guys tune in for that. A lot of fun times with it. Then Sunday, we couldn't do it the other night, but next Sunday, 4 debut special. So 4 brand new shows, and Spade Ace will be back.
Yeah.
Hopefully I should be better by then.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine by then, and that'll be, and I believe actually that might be. Actually, yeah, I think that'll be the last Tokurist before Ranger Stop. So make sure you guys tune in for that.
Well, we are leaving Monday, aren't we, Matty?
We are leaving, for Ranger Stop, I'm leaving Monday morning at 4 in the morning.
Yeah, but that's going to be on the 9th, so we got time. That's what I'm saying. Anywho, then on Monday, it is Shades Plays / Riffs. Depending on how this last fundraiser week goes, we'll see what happens on that. I'll have a Let's Play for sure, but we'll see where we go. I might continue doing more Digimon. I haven't caught up on that lately. But we'll see what happens on that. And then, of course, come back here next Tuesday for the Ranger recap. Actually, yeah, we're going to have to figure out something for next Tuesday, aren't we? Because there won't be a new episode to run.
Buy me a thing on the Amazon wish list. We'll do Masked Rider. Done.
Yeah. For hell, guys.
And the Forza dub. Don't forget the Forza dub.
True.
Yeah, we got 2 possible choices, guys. Donate and let's see what's make it happen here, folks.
We'll flip a coin if we have to.
Yeah.
By the way, for people who keep asking me if they put up more Forza episodes, I didn't find it. A fan brought it to my attention.
Yeah.
If I knew where more were, I'd post them, but I don't, so stop asking.
No. Now, if you find any more, by all means, send it our way. But
Yes, please. We'd love to riff the hell out of them.
yes. But that's going to do it for that. Of course, make sure you guys tune in. Head over to tokutai.me. Check out Easy's Tokuween episodes. Like he said, episode 3 is going to be going up after the show.
Yep, part 3 will be up hopefully right after we end this call. I'm still working on that. The 4th one's going to be cutting it close. Hey, I didn't want to get sick this weekend, and then company showed up, and they took refuge in the place where I filmed the new episode. So that hampered the thing. So 4th one might be a little late, but we'll see.
Yeah, and then, of course, check out all our other stuff. WrestleCast coming out every week, as always. You guys got a lot of stuff going on here, guys. So
We got the Hell in a Cell review. Tito's back. He watched. We liked what we saw, if anyone asks. Of course, the return of Alberto Del Rio. Big old shocker. We'll talk about the details of the contract and all that stuff and things. And rumor has it Vince was pissed over the blood, but not for the reasons you may think.
Oh please, Vince gets pissed at name a noun.
Yeah. Right?
For this one, there was an actual reason, but we will get to that, of course. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's 2 more weeks, boys.
2 more weeks. Ranger
Oh,
stuff's coming.
Also, if anyone's still in the chat, added incentive. This 3rd part of Tokuween, I will be looking at a franchise that I've never reviewed before on Toku Time until now.
Ooh.
I'll give you a hint. It's Daikaiju themed.
You heard it here, folks.
Yep.
That's coming up as soon as we're done here, right?
Yep. Just head over to tokutai.me. You check out part 3. Again, it's a Toku Time first.
There you go.
All right.
All right. And Easy, do you have any jokes lined up?
Yes, I do.
Well, let's do what we do best. Let's get on out of here.
Let's see. Well, that's it for Ranger Recap. Until the next time, I'm Easy Rider, reminding you that all things being equal, fat people use more soap.
Wow.
Had to make that joke. Okay, I've actually got some robot jokes because, well, Prince Philip's piece of crap robot.
Yeah.
Okay, so one brother asked the other brother, Why was the robot angry? Beats me, because someone kept pushing his buttons.
Oh.
Ah! Did you guys hear the one about the ventriloquist doing a nightclub gig with the dummy on his knee? He tells a dumb robot joke. A beverage service robot stops and shouts at the ventriloquist. Hang on.
All right.
Easy.
Sorry, muted my mic. Was coughing. You did my mic.
The old choke button. Gotcha.
Yeah. Anyway, what gives you the right to stereotype artificial intelligence that way? You should be ashamed of yourself. Flustered, the ventriloquist begins to stammer an apology. You keep out of this, Buster, it yells. I'm talking to the little idiot on your knee.
Ah. A
robot walks into a bar, orders a drink, lays down some cash. The bartender says, "Hey, we don't serve robots." And the robot looks up and says, "Oh, but someday you will."
Ooh.
How many robots does it take to screw in a light bulb?
I don't know how many.
How many?
3. 1 to hold the bulb and 2 to turn the ladder.
No.
I'm Easy Rider, reminding you that the fan sub will never die. We are your Ranger Recappers. We will see you next time. Actually, no, we won't, because we'll probably, well,
we shall see.
Well, yeah, it's probably going to be a repeat. But we'll
if it's
see.
not next Tuesday, the next time you'll see us, we'll be all of us in the same room.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
We'll see you when we see you. But as always, don't forget to Dino Charge, and may the power protect you. We'll see you.
What? An energem! Your Highness! The prince! No! Another ranger? Not for long!
Is it morphing time? You bet it is.
You beat me once, but it won't happen again!
Life sucks, and then you die.